Hello everyone, this is NASCAR Fan02, and this is going to be a NASCAR racing review, talking about the Go Bowling 400 at Pocono in Lawn Pond, Pennsylvania. Now, today the race was scheduled to be some rain, possibly interfering with the race, but the weather was able to be held off today, and the race was about to get in as scheduled. The main players before the race previews, most people thought a Hendrick car or a Penske car would win the race because it came down to those two teams last time they were in Pennsylvania, where Brad Keselowski dominated the race, but he had trash on his grill. He tried getting it off, and Dale Jr. got around him, and Dale Jr. was able to win the race. Now, will that be the same occurrence today, or will someone else rise to the occasion? As the green flag was underway, we saw Joey Logano lead the first good bit of the race, and with Kurt Busch and as well as Jeff Gordon being strong contenders, but we had an early yellow involving Jimmy Johnson with another cut tire, and I don't know how he cut this tire, but he cut a tire, and that's when we started different strategies. We saw different strategies throughout the whole entire race, different pit cycles, and that would be a key for the race winner and how the race winner won the race with pit strategy. There was different pit strategies throughout the different race. We had 3 different cycles of pit stops, 3 different strategies, and for example, we had Kurt Busch on a different strategy versus Jimmy Johnson versus Jeff Gordon, and so on and so forth, with the list of drivers not being able to go on different fuel mileage windows. Now, during the middle portion of the race, Jeff Gordon, we saw, was a strong contender. Just like Indy, once he got in clean air, he was practically untouchable. He was really fast, and he was tough to catch. And we saw Kurt Busch, whenever he was out in the lead, he had a pretty good distance, and he was able to stretch out a gap and be able to be strong. So the 41 and the 24 were contenders throughout the most of the race. And I saw Dale Jr. particularly come through the back of the pack, and he just started to move his way up through the field, and I kept my eye on him because he won the race back in, I believe it was June or July, whenever the actual date of the race was, but earlier in the summer he won. So I was watching him particularly, and Brad Keselowski, who's my favorite driver. And lo and behold, late in the race, there's a big caution, involves my favorite driver and a bunch of other people, with Denny Hamlin just getting loose off of one, and just people just losing it off the corner. But once the wreck happened, there was a pit call that won the race, and some drivers did pit, including Dale Earnhardt Jr., as well as several others, and they pitted when the caution came out, and there was a lot of caution laps to fall in between, so they pitted. And when the green flag came out, there was a pit window with about 30 laps to go, and that's when most drivers came in, either got 2 tires and gas, 4 tires and gas, or no tires, just fuel only go. And then we saw Greg Biffle, Kevin Harvick, and Denny Hamlin being the 3 guys that were out and about, whereas you saw people like Dale Earnhardt Jr., who came in under the caution. He just took fuel only. He was ahead of people like Jeff Gordon, way ahead of them. Jeff Gordon, Kurt Busch, Joey Logano, he was way ahead of them. And then a late race caution came out with, I believe, a blown tire by AJ Allmendinger, and then the field got bunched up, and we saw a good restart in the end, and Dale Jr. was able to pass Greg Biffle, and he was able to get around Biffle. And then there was a late race caution. I believe the late race caution for this one was actually with AJ Allmendinger. Excuse me for the last part. Can't quite exactly remember what happened the last caution. I think it was something to do with Joe Nemechek. I'm not sure, but I think the one that was late in the race was with AJ Allmendinger. But nonetheless, there was a late race restart with 4 laps to go, and lots of people, I mean, in my opinion, know that Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano are great restarters, but some junior fans that I know say that Dale Jr. is not a really good restarter, but he got the restart. He had a great restart, and he was able to hold off Kevin Harvick, who was charging him at the end, and he was able to hold off Kevin Harvick for the race win, and with Joey Logano finishing in 3rd place. And it was a great finish. I read a comment earlier today on Facebook, and actually someone posted, didn't this race finish remind you of Dale Earnhardt and Jeremy Mayfield? Just the way they were battling at the end of the race, because it was a close battle. And I've heard comments that this is one of the most exciting Pocono races that they have seen in a long time. And me quite personally, I was more interested in this Pocono race than any of the previous races, besides the one this year because my favorite driver's in it. But this finish was great. We had a restart within 4 to go, and we saw Dale Jr. complete the Pocono sweep. Now, will his success there transfer the other tracks, like other flat tracks? But we'll see. But we'll see. I don't know really, because Pocono is such a different track. It has 3 different corners, but he was able to conquer that track and prove that he can still win, obviously, because there was a drought. The reason why I say this is because he was having a drought of where he was struggling to finish top 10s, and he was getting very frustrated with his performance, and he knew that his team could be better with his finishes, and he was able to get the win. And I'm pretty sure that's going to boost the team's morale a lot, especially, they've won 3 races, with the Daytona 500 being 1, and the 2 Pocono races with the sweep. Now, next week is going to be a good race. I feel like it will be Watkins Glen road course. Now, if you ask me, with Watkins Glen, I think there should be a road course in the chase, in my opinion. To determine the champion must be good at all different types of tracks. You gotta have short tracks, you gotta have restrictor plates, you gotta have mile and a halves, gotta have road courses. And Watkins Glen will be the final road course of the year, but I highly suggest NASCAR to do this. Put a road course in the chase. Do it. It's going to make the chase more exciting, and it's going to test a future champion. Whoever is going to be champion, they're going to have to conquer the road course. They're going to have to do it. They're going to have to be great at a road course to become champion. Now, my opinion, I would add, 2 more road courses, and my opinions are these: add Road America, which is one road course, and there's a bunch of others. You could go Mid-Ohio, possibly go to, I don't know, there's other road courses out and about, throughout America that, NASCAR could go to. So I'm pretty sure, just another one in mind could be Road Atlanta. That could be another road course, just off the top of my head. But I know there's many other road courses throughout the United States that the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series could go to. So, we'll see if they even go that route, but they would be interesting, in my opinion. But nonetheless, today was a great race. It was not boring as as boring as I thought it would be, because of the fact that it's Pocono. It's somewhat like it is like Indy, where it's a lot of single file racing. But we had a lot of good racing. We had a lot of cautions, in my opinion, with tires and blow motors, and just there was a crash, and that set up different pit strategies. And Dale Jr., Steve Letarte were able to make the right pit strategy to win the race. And this, again, boosts the team's morale, and they're going to move forward and then the chase with all this confidence already locked up. But they have a lot of confidence going in, and they believe that they can win the championship. And I think that the 88 team, they needed to get wins. They needed to win multiple races to be a contender, and they have done that this season. And I believe that they are a serious threat to win the championship. So you watch out for the 88 bunch. They're on their game. But next week is Watkins Glen, And my prediction for that race, I think for that race we could have Marcus Ambrose winning that, because he's been really stout at Watkins Glen, very stout there. He hasn't been doing that great this year, but he could win a race there. And who knows, maybe he could be in the chase. Or AJ Allmendinger. I'm picking either him or AJ Allmendinger. I think one of those guys will win the race. AJ was pretty stout at Sonoma earlier in the other road course, and I think that he could be a contender to win this race. But today, Dale Jr. wins his 3rd race of the season. Move on to Watkins Glen. It's going to be exciting race weekend for the Sprint Cup Series and the Nationwide Series, both going to Watkins Glen. Thank you for watching my video. This is NASCAR Fan 02, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, click the subscribe button, click the like button for this video, and I appreciate your viewership and you watching my videos. Continue watching my videos, and this is NASCAR Fan 02 signing off.